What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Q. Everybody call me Q, or Quinton. I'm from here. Yes and no.
Where is here? Where are we at right now?
Niagara Falls. We're in Niagara Falls, New York.
What part of Niagara Falls?
We're in the midtown Niagara Falls, New York.
Okay. I guess my first question is...
I want to give you this to you right here because I know. Right here. Struggle ain't no realer than it is here.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's for me. Oh,
that's
thank
for you, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll put it on. All right. So, I guess the first question is if you could explain Niagara Falls to somebody who's never heard of it or never been here, how would you explain it to them?
I would explain it. It's kind of like you have the falls, which is like an oasis, fun, paradise. You got the state park, you got the casino. The moment you leave there is a desert. And that's what you see here is a desert. I mean, that's exactly what the falls is. It has a lot of potential, a lot of things that could go right. Money could be going through here, but corrupt politics, 20, 30 years of that. The Rust Belt, everything. And then they don't pay any attention to it. So this is what happens.
A lot of people say that there's no real violence in Niagara Falls. There's no real anything kind of crime in Niagara Falls. What has been your personal experience regarding that?
What's fake violence? You know, that's my question. I hear that sometimes. People are like, oh, it's not real. What's fake? A gun is a gun, a bullet's a bullet. A drive-by is a drive-by.
Have you ever experienced anything like that out here?
Yes, I've seen, right after high school, I'll never forget the day, coming off the school bus, and just minding my own business. I had my backpack, a white t-shirt on. I was back 04, I'm aging myself, but you know, everyone used to wear the big white t-shirts. Getting off the school bus, cops pull up on you. What you got a gun underneath your shirt. I'm a 17-year-old kid. No, I got no gun on me. But the fact you got to ask me that question, or going to the store with my cousins, actually down the street from here.
So who asked you if you had a gun?
The police.
Oh.
Yeah. So, just getting off the bus. It's like June. School's about to be out, and they're like, "Hey, you got a gun underneath your shirt? It's a big T-shirt. That's what everybody wore." Well, why are you asking me that? Why are you pestering me? Why are you hassling me? Stuff like that. You hear gunshots. You hear them all the time. It's to the point where we had to move because we got desensitized to it.
Where were you living at?
15th and Whitney.
And you said what was going on over there?
So a couple. I mean, where do you want me to start? You had the one instance, which is down the street from here, where I used to live. You had someone who got shot, ran through our backyard, trailed blood, and then ran through our front yard, and then he disappeared. We don't know what happened, but I had to clean the blood up. So, you know, that's nice to do when you wake up in the middle. Usually you take the garbage out.
I think I remember hearing about that case. That guy was the guy that got shot at hometown?
Yeah, I think he did get shot at hometown.
He died.
Did he die?
Yeah, that's a homicide. Yeah,
oh, wow.
That was a homicide.
I just remember the trailing blood going through my backyard. So, I mean, I guess, what is that, fake blood? Is that fake violence? That's real. I don't know how to put that.
What are some of the arguments you've heard
it's always over
against
money.
you? Like, what are some of the things that people have told you that make you, you know, like, what are some things that people have said that?
Because it's not on the map, because Niagara Falls isn't Chicago, per capita, it's just as bad. But because we're a small part of Western New York, you don't get the publicity. So it's like, so just because we're not on the map, it must somehow not be the same as what goes on in any other city. And I'm from Philadelphia. You know what I mean? I lived in Atlanta. As a matter of fact, I felt safer in Atlanta than I did here.
Really?
I felt safer in Atlanta than I did here.
What part of Atlanta did you live in?
I live in East Point, Atlanta, right in the city.
East Point, oh really?
Metropolitan Cleveland Boulevard. Everyone knows what if you're from Atlanta, you know where that is.
Okay.
That's Zone 3, live right there. I
Really?
felt safer in there than I did here.
So your family had to move off of 15th and
Oh yeah.
and Whitney?
15th and Whitney.
And have you experienced anything else in any other parts of the city, or?
You have Highland. It's a lot of, like, you know, most of the stuff that goes on now goes on Highland. It moves. It depends on, because police will do raids. They'll do a midtown raid, then everything will move.
What's midtown? What exactly?
Midtown is pretty much everything from Hyde Park towards 11th Street, and it ends at Pine, and then it ends at Highland, right around that, like 9th Street, like around that area. That's all Midtown.
I remember hearing a while ago you said something happened in Center Court that you had to leave Center Court. Is that what was the story behind that?
The shootout on my front lawn.
Where? What happened?
Center Court on was Eagle Street, or whatever they call it. I forgot the name of it. But when I was living there was a shootout. The dude got shot in the front, in my front lawn. And mind you, I had kids out there playing, like my own children.
What time of day was it?
It was 2 o'clock, summertime.
Really?
And 2 pops, pop. Police came out right in my front lawn. They interviewed everyone that lived there. So we all had to leave. And then because the reason why we all had to leave is because they got another call about it happening again. So they're coming back. Whoever, some kind of retaliation for what happened.
Yeah.
So they made everyone on my street abandon there for like a couple hours until they cleared it all up.
What are some of the causes of a lot of like poverty and I'll say violence in the city? What do you think are some of the root causes of
You said it, poverty.
Poverty.
But that's the main thing is poverty. It's also lack of opportunity or the illusions of a lack of opportunity. So when you get a people who are impoverished, you get them impoverished for 20, 30, 40 years. They get so desperate to the point where they're willing to do anything to get up out of their situation. And that's what happens. When you are used to not eating, your mother's used to not eating, your grandmother's used to not eating, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get enough to where I'm gonna eat one way or another. And so that's why people do what they do. So at the same time, anytime you look at high crime areas, it's always out of desperation. These people ain't no different than anyone else, but they're just desperate.
What are some solutions do you think that could help maybe reduce violence in the Falls?
Government need to get their shit together. People need to get their shit together. You know what I mean? I don't think we can rely on government. They don't care. I mean, you're talking about state legislature, even the city. They're not gonna be worried about Niagara Falls. They're worried about New York City.
Do you think that the mayor has done a good job with Niagara Falls?
He's done a decent job. I'll give him that. I mean, there's only so much you can do. You don't have the resources to do better. And any other city that's flourishing, they also have state, and they come in and help out. Niagara Falls doesn't have that. So yeah, I mean, it's got to be the people too. The people got to really. It's a lot. Good. Niagara Falls. One thing I will give them is when they have to have some kind of unifying force or something happens, they all come together. So you got to get a lot more of that.
Well, what was the football thing I heard that you got involved in? What was that exactly?
That was actually based on this. It was based on the poverty, violence, just talking to kids and figuring out.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, go ahead.
What did that involve?
It involved taking these kids off the street, the young men, 18 to 25, older or younger, a little bit younger or a little older, and get them to do something positive. The main reason for gang violence is you want to feel included into something. So I'm like, let me get these dudes off these gangs and put them in this football team, which is like a well put together gang. You can go out hit somebody all you want. And so that's how it started.
A lot of people say there's no such things as gangs in Niagara Falls. What is your experience regarding that?
This corner down here when I was 16 years old, and I was stupid, young, I had a black bandana on. It was hot, it was summertime. So I put a black bandana on my head. So I'm walking down 13th Street and an OG stops me. He's a blood. He's like, what flag is that? I'm like, what do you mean what flag? And I'm like, oh, this. I'm just wearing this hat out. That's all I got. That's the only reason why I got it on. I had it underneath to fit it before I had hair.
What's an OG? What does that mean?
Original gangster, somebody a little older. You have YGs, you have OGs.
So he basically asked you what you were doing with that bandana, and then you responded with,
I don't rep nothing.
And then what did he say?
He said, all right, but he said, watch yourself.
Really?
But he understood I was a kid. So but I was at the age where kids are joining the gang, so he's probably wondering what flag it is. At 13th is Bloodline. That's all Bloods over there.
13th Street. Have you ever had any other experiences with gangs in the
I mean,
city?
I have cousins who are Crips.
Oh, really?
Legit cousins who are legit Crips. And they live in the city, live in Western New York, live in Niagara Falls, they live in Buffalo. I'm not gonna say where, but they live here.
Yeah.
So it's like, you mean to tell me, like when I text them on the phone, they don't use B's, they use the 8. You know what I mean? Like so, when you tell me there's no gangs, so my personal experience is all lies apparently. You know what I mean? No, this is real. This is what happens.
What causes gangs in the Falls?
Gangs is a good way to make money and to create a brotherhood. It's what you lack a lot of times in poor neighborhoods. You don't have that. So that's what gangs are there for. I'm gonna get political real quick. Just follow me real quick. I'm glad you picked this spot because it's like all of this exists because our state don't give a damn about us. All the money, all the taxes go straight to New York City. And this exists because when you have no jobs, you have no opportunities, no education, all you leave is this. And it's not the people's fault that this happens, but they get blamed for it. So, you don't think Niagara Falls is real? I guess those are fake tires. I guess this is a fake abandoned trap house. I think this is fake brown grass, right? Maybe this is all a green screen. Maybe it is. But come on now, there's nothing fake about this. But it needs to change, I'll tell you that. Or fake change. I mean, if I told you this was all, it looks like, if I said this is Detroit, you would think it is. There's no reason why you wouldn't think this isn't Detroit. Here, there, right. It looks exactly the same as you did in the pictures. That's funny.
So what is this? Is this house abandoned?
Oh yeah, it's abandoned, you can tell. I mean, if you look, the roof's falling and it's been, who knows how long it's been sitting like this, but you got the copper, people pull copper out of the, you know, the fuse box, and the copper sells, they wait for houses that ain't been lived in a while. It's the first thing that people do is rip all this stuff out, aluminum, copper, all that. It's just crazy how survival instincts kick in. You know copper is worth something, so you take it and you use it for something. But that shows you how desperate people get. It's not like people not looking for jobs, not people not looking for opportunity. When you get to the point where you got to tear copper out of houses just to make some money, let that mindset sink in for a minute. Let it sink in.
So tell me, what were you saying about the casino?
Oh, yeah, so I work there. I'm a high roller bartender. So I'm in a high roller lounge, you know, like the uppity folks, you know, the well-do people. And it's just funny because they come in from other parts of town. They have family come in. They're like, hey, can I go to the store down the street? I saw a store down there outside of the casino. I want to just go grab some stuff.
What location is that?
Yeah, it's like 9th and Main, I'm thinking. And it's like, you're at the casino, and it's like an oasis, like I was saying earlier. But don't leave that oasis. And I tell them, like, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go to that 7-Eleven down the street. You do not want to do that.
What do you think would happen to them if they went to the 7-Eleven?
They get hassled. They get haggled, you know, hey, you got $1. It's not nothing crazy. But still, it's gonna ruin your entire illusion of your little vacation here at Niagara Falls. It's gonna.
What do people see when they leave the casino?
Yeah, when you leave the casino, hopefully, you go straight through the park to the highway. But some people, I hear stories all the time. This one lady was there at the casino. She was out from out of town. She had to run the Tops to get some stuff. She went to the Tops on 11th Street. Blew her mind. She had no idea. So you come from wherever you at, you come to a 4- or 5-star resort, hanging out, go to the falls. You want to go get some groceries, you go straight to the slums. You know what I mean? It's like that with every city. You go to Rio de Janeiro, same thing. You go to any capital city, you got the slums right after. The big balance between rich and poor.
Have you ever heard of any tourists getting robbed outside the casino? Or?
Not personally. I've heard tourists getting robbed. I heard tourists getting hassled though. And I mean, if you make one wrong turn, make a turn right instead of going left towards the falls, you'll get hassled and you might get robbed. So I just tell people like, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go that way. You don't want to go ferry. You don't want to go none of that. You want to stay where you are. Go to Little Rainbow Boulevard. Go to Duff's. Go to whatever. Just don't go the other way.